Hello and welcome to Extra Connections, where we're here, we connect you to people, places, and things, and ideas. And today we connect you with a person. I'm your host, James Lott Jr., and that was the opening strains of one of my favorite songs of this guest, from a soundtrack from far away and long time ago. So excited. This guest, when I say the word legend, I don't use that word lightly. This person endures and has endured in this crazy business of show. She's an actress, variety show guest, stage presence. I mean, singer of songs like Don't Leave Me This Way, You've Been Doing Wrong for So Long, Saturday Night, Sunday Morning. She also has a great show coming up. If you're in Los Angeles, go to the Nate Holden Theater. My Motown Memories and More is this Sunday, October 15th at 7:30. And we'll give you information on where to get tickets. But she is just, I'm so happy to have her. Miss Grammy winner, Thelma Houston. How are you, Thelma?
I'm good, thanks. You know, I was just thinking when you sitting when I was listening to that music, I said, that sounds slightly familiar, but then I wasn't sure.
That song was Love's Masterpiece.
It was so long ago and far, far away. Yes, indeed.
And that's my favorite. That's from the Thank God It's Friday soundtrack. My favorite soundtracks I played to death, and I'm so glad they include you on the soundtrack. It's such good stuff, and folks. So folks, Extra Connections is on iTunes. It's on Spreaker.com. You can find us everywhere. We have a Facebook page, and of course I'm James Lott Jr. You can find me at James Lott Jr.'s, and she has ThelmaHouston.com. And that's where you can find tickets to the show.
Yes, ThelmaHouston.com/tickets.
That's right,
and they'll take you right there to get to the show, to the Nate Holden, which I'm so excited about.
We're gonna talk about that, but first I got to do some business with you first, and then we'll get to your performance, what's going on, and your version of Last Dance, which I love. So it's about that. Okay, first of all, I want to get this cleared up. And folks are coming to you live from Los Angeles. It's sunny, it's warm, beautiful. Okay, were you born May 7th?
Yes.
Yeah, you're a Taurus like me. I'm born May 10th.
Yes, Taurus. But now listen. Now, do you think that we are stubborn or / determined?
I say determined.
That's what I say too.
Of course we would say that. We're Tauruses. That's what we would say. Of course. I mean, but Thelma, here's actually a semi-serious question though. In this business, has it served you well sometimes being determined?
Yes, it has. It has served me well in lots of ways, you know. And sometimes, and then sometimes I can say that it has been kind of a hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of the things that I've learned, that you can say, okay, now. You know, it's okay to, you know, this is how you believe, this is what you think, and this is how you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's look at it this way. Now, can you look at it from another perspective? And as you get older, you have to start, and in this business particularly, you have to start, and you kind of say, okay, well, maybe I could, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
Now, you know, there was a point. I'll just give you an example. There was a point when I first started out in my very first album. It was called Sun Showers in 1969, and I wanted to have a afro, you know, afro,
yeah,
and Afrocentric clothes,
mm-hmm.
and all of that, and everybody said, well, that's fine, and I said, and I don't want to wear no shoes. And everybody said, well, and what is it? And I said, and you know, I said, well, what is there a reason? Anyway, I did that for a while, and then it was like, you know, really, Thelma? You know what I mean? Because then it got to be like, okay, now tell them they got to have a rug so many feet by so many feet. Because, you know, the floor sometimes would be splintery.
Yes,
you know, so you have to let go of those things and start looking at it from a logical standpoint. So there are times when that stubbornness and, you know, can be stupidity.
Well, you know, it's like I said, you get a little older, you've been in business for a while.
Exactly, you learn.
Mm-hmm.
You learn from your experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now, another question I always want to ask you is that I view you more as an R&B diva. But I know that is I loved them. Trust me, I was a disco. I loved disco. I was all into it. But a lot of your songs and your vocalizing is very R&B to me. It just happens different music. You've had different music over the years, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But you've had music that have played behind you. But how do you view yourself in terms of in the business as a package?
Um, well, the term rhythm and blues, that really it was a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Rhythm and blues also meant black.
Yes.
And it meant having with the bases of like a blues
Mm-hmm.
bass undertones to everything. And then it started being with adding the jazz things to it, and then the thing, you know. But I just view myself as I like to sing what I like,
Okay.
and for me, everything that I sing, I believe it has because of my very very beginnings, and that when you are really unknowingly you're developing things that's gonna, especially you're going to music, you're gonna that's gonna become a part of your whatever it is that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, I started out in a gospel with a gospel background.
Yes.
See, I started out singing at 3, singing in the little kids choir, actually singing solo.
Wow.
And then started singing with the kids choir. And then, after I got a certain age, I thought, well, I don't want to be singing with these little kids, anymore. I want to sing, I want to lead some of these old folk songs like the Caravan, if these sisters is, and this is my Hey,
Yeah.
And so then it became a question. So it was always somehow in the church. But then instead of being Baptist, because they youth choir, choir, But then I started going to church with my friends, and they were going to a CME Methodist church.
Oh, okay.
And I went there, and there was a lot of the gospel, a lot of that element in their church. But they had a lot of the Methodist stuff too. But the most important thing to me is that they mixed the youth and the adults in the same choir.
Okay.
I said, I was sold in, joined the church. But I'm saying for me, everything has had it. So everything that I sing is going to have that gospel.
Yeah.
That's just
a part of you. It's a part of you. It's a part of you that. Yeah. And you're right. Every song you do, there is a gospel element in your vocal. I mean, there is, and that's clear. That's very clear. I mean, even like "Don't Leave Me This Way," it's in there. And it's so funny to me though. It's that you were there, I was there, the whole disco backlash and all this stuff. And I always I laugh because I think back of all the women back then who were in disco, who weren't the faceless, nameless songs, but you, Gloria Gaynor, Donna Summer. I mean, people who had voices, who actually, you guys transcended to me the music itself. It was like,
we pretty much were all singing singing songs, and just happened to be, we were singing other kind of music prior to that.
Yeah.
But we happened to get, songs that happened to be like at that point in time, and then got put into that category. But pretty much all of those women, everybody that had, were singing, outside of that.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like that first thing.
Right.
Was disco music. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. And so you guys all knew each other, didn't you? From probably crisscrossing touring and stuff back then. Do you guys know each other?
Not prior to that.
No.
And back then, I was actually a lot of people think that I lived in back east, but I always lived in Long Beach in LA.
Yes, and I know Long Beach. Yes, yes.
And so, so no, I didn't. But I did. Of course, over the years, I have gotten to know them. We've done shows together, and know each other. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, it's funny as some people may not know this or remember this, but because you've had a long, illustrious career, there is back in the '80s, you did an album and some tracks were done with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Right.
And
Right.
You Used to Hold Me So Tight is one of the songs from that album that was really good. And you worked with an early Lenny Kravitz when he was Romeo Blue.
Right. How did you know that?
I do my research, girl. But no, I remember the song. I remember the you told me. So I remember that song.
And the thing is, it was I'm trying to think of the name, but it was so interesting to me that guy who was in that studio with me that day
Yes.
became this Lenny Kravitz guy.
Yes.
But the song was just it was such a I was surprised that he had written the lyrics and stuff himself. You know what I mean? Because it was a real tender, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's like, that's me categorizing people.
Yeah. See, we all do it.
Yeah. We all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I was really, but yes, and it was when I was on. I think I was it MCA label or RCA?
One of those. I forgot which one it was. It's one of those. Yeah, that's no longer around anymore. It was one of those labels.
Right.
They're all gone. But I thought it was very interesting because I thought for you, because you had some real kind of that whole chart success starting to come back to a little bit for you. And I thought this is good. I'm like, I'm always happy when I see talented writers and producers hooked up with a talented singer, and showcasing them in a different way. I think it's that's kind of cool for you to be able to sing different kind of songs.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
I get an opportunity to do that a lot.
Yeah, that's what.
And so to me, that's what I enjoy about this industry, and what I also enjoy about the opportunities that come your way, and that you have to experience things that might not be, necessarily monetarily successful,
right.
but they have such meaning in terms of the artistry of it. One of the things that I did, and this was when I was on Motown label, and it was a very rare thing for Motown to allow their artists who were under contract to them, solely, to go out and do a project on another record label.
Oh, yeah.
That was almost unheard of. But because of the nature of the project and what it was on an album called Sheffield Lab. And Sheffield Lab was going to do, they did an album, but cutting the album live.
Oh, wow.
With all of the musicians, with the strings, the horns, the background singers, and everyone in it, and at that time what they call cutting the lacquer at the same time, which meaning that you couldn't make a mistake.
Wow.
And so because if a mistake was made, then they'd have to go all the way back to the very beginning and start cutting it again on the left, because they were cutting it direct, and they call that method direct to disc.
Wow.
Meaning without going through the tape and then onto the vinyl.
Yeah.
They went directly to the vinyl.
Wow.
And I think the reason that Motown agreed to it is because of the process that was being done. They could only do 150,000 copies.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. And it was at that time, that album became very successful within what they call the high fidelity market, because people would use it that was selling like high end, thousands and thousands of dollars of, hi-fi equipment that these little guys. Sometimes I'm at my show, right? I'm at a show, I'm in the club, like, don't leave me this way, and here comes some little guy with his little pants pulled all the way up, almost underneath his arms, right? And he has that album, and he brings it to me. He has it, and I said, boy, and he's been in the club waiting for all of it to go off, so he can come backstage. Isn't that sweet?
That is.
So I'm saying, those for me are the treasured moments. I mean, it's all a treasure.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that those are important moments, and that album is going to be, it's going to be historical. It is a historical thing because it hasn't,
Yeah.
And by the way, that's the way that they used to record back in the day. I mean, when they
Wow.
first started recording.
Yeah.
And that's why you would hear all that.
Oh, the crackling. Yeah.
The sound wasn't good.
Yeah.
But this sound was superb. It was fantastic.
You bring up a good
And
point.
by the way, let me say this.
Yes.
That little company has been just as forthcoming with their little royalties.
Oh, wow.
Better than any of the major companies from day one.
Wow. That's amazing. Now that's amazing.
Look that up. It's called Sheffield Lab.
Okay.
And the name of the album is I've Got the Music in Me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Music in me. Okay, I'm learning something. I'm writing it down. Mm-hmm. That's well, that part. Hello, thank you. Being honest about royalties in the business. That's crazy. I'm like, okay, that's great. Wow, that's great. Well, I want. You brought up something that's really interesting. You have had some interesting opportunities. Did you work on Marty Feldman's comedy thing back in the 70s?
Well, I did. I was on the show, but I wasn't a regular on the show. I was a guest on the show.
Okay. But I think it was kind of cool.
But I did. I've done. Done some acting.
Yes.
Like back in the day with Cagney and Lacey.
Yes.
And then what's the guy's name? The one that's married to Delta Burke. He and his.
Oh, Gerald McRaney. Yes.
Yeah, with him. Remember they had a detective. I had a big role on that show.
Yes, they did.
My character was called Venusia.
yeah. I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it.
Oh my God!
So you have had some interesting projects in your
yeah. Well, now in my most recent acting thing for a long period of time, for a year, I did the show Fame.
Oh.
And it was but they could call it Fame the musical.
Okay.
And I did it in Australia, and I lived in Australia for a year.
Wow.
And I toured Australia and doing this Fame, and I played the role. I didn't play the dance. I didn't play they switched the roles around.
Yeah.
You would think that they would have me doing the Debbie Allen.
Yeah.
But no, they had me the teacher.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, they made me the teacher, and that was a very interesting role. And I had like three good songs, songs in the show.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was 1999. So I was there from 1999 to 2000.
Wow. Did you, when you lived in Australia, did you miss anything American? Was there something there you're just like, God, I wish I had that right now, you can't get it? Was there anything?
Yeah. Well, I mean, certain, if I came to certain ethnic, foods like greens and things of that nature.
Yes. Okay.
But, and, and certain products. And,
yeah.
But for the most part, I'll tell you what I didn't miss.
Ooh.
And you would think I didn't miss that when I would go into a store, did nobody follow me around?
Oh, how funny. Okay. Yes.
Never. That never happened. and if somebody was rude to me, they were the type of person that would have been rude to everybody else in that same restaurant in that area that they were serving, and we all was hating them. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And I do understand that there's an issue there with the Aboriginal people. But this is another interesting thing that while I was there, sometimes, this was on another trip, but I was there as an artist.
Yeah.
Went over to work and something. So they asked you when you come, would you go and do some work? Like maybe go to visit a children's hospital or go to at a workshop and talk about Black music or American music or whatever. And so I try to do something like that every time I go. So this one time they said, Thelma, we have the Aboriginal group of people. An Aboriginal group has been given a grant, and they have this theater, blah 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 blah. And could you go by and just say hi and have a little chat? And of course. So So I'm going over there, and I'm sitting and waiting, and they said, "Well, you ready?" I said, "Excuse me, where are the?" I said, "I thought this was an Aboriginal thing." They said, "Oh no, they're here." I saw all these little blue-eyed,
yeah.
not dark,
Right.
white little kids. I said, "Where?" And I did my little thing,
Yeah.
that I was supposed to do. But over there, if you have like I forget what the percentage, it can be a very, very small percentage of Aboriginal blood in you, and you can prove it.
Yeah.
Then you have all these, you have these grants, you get this, you get that, but the Aboriginal people that I thought they were talking about, they're mostly in the northern part of the country, and they don't tend to want to be a part of that. And those are the people that they don't, you know what I mean? They don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They keep their customs. They have their, their whole
the whole life, way of life. Yeah.
And they're very worried by them, but they're very, they're not.
They're harmless. Yeah.
But they're very, so that is an issue. That is an issue there. But like I said, because of, where I was in Australia, it's huge.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just I didn't get I didn't have an opportunity to see that part of it.
Yeah.
The real deal.
So another question I want to ask you, because you've been nominated several times and you have won. Do you remember winning a Grammy?
I remember, and this I can tell you this.
Please.
Okay. When I was nominated for a Grammy, I was on the Motown label.
Yes.
And also nominated for a Grammy was Diana Ross.
Yes.
And I just felt that I probably wouldn't win.
yeah. I read between the lines. Yes, I understand. Yes.
So,
yeah.
I mean, among other people, Aretha Franklin was up that year,
Yeah.
and I think Natalie Cole. And,
all stars. All stars.
Right, exactly. So I said, and I had been nominated before.
Yes, you have. Yes.
And but at that time I was nominated. They had it in New York, and I was excited. I didn't win. Aretha Franklin won, but just for me at that time that was my first album on Motown.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
To be nominated, I was just, and so I'm sure they must have panned the camera, because of course that was back in 73.
Yes.
And so, but I'm sure I was grinning because I was just happy. You know what I mean? Shoot, I was just glad they had given me a suite, and they told me they were, and they had a party for me. Motown's
hey.
They went over. All these big old stars came to my party.
Wow.
That I had won. Wow. It was like I said, shoot. Oh, I know I didn't win. Oh yeah, it was nothing. But this time, I said, nope. Because when they pan that camera across that floor, when somebody else wins, I am not going to be smiling and that. I don't feel like it. I'm not going to go.
Okay.
So I didn't go.
Oh.
So, and it was also the year, they had started this thing of do the Grammys in California one year.
Right.
New York one year, and, back and forth.
Yeah.
And so this was the year it was in California, but also they had started doing this. They were not giving out the R&B. They said, well, because we have so much time, we only have so much time. We have so many categories.
Oh, God.
We're gonna have to start alternating. And so one year we're gonna give, country off camera.
Oh, okay.
And then, the next year we'll give country on camera and R&B. So this was the year they had decided to give R&B off camera. Right? So I just said, I ain't gonna. So, and I had the dress made. It was a beautiful dress. But I said, I didn't go. So I got the call from Suzanne DePass.
Oh, okay.
Telling me, I can't believe you're not here. I said, you just won, dummy.
That's so funny. So you'll never forget how you'll never forget
but
it.
She went up and accepted it.
Okay.
And you know why? And I think that's fitting because she was the one that had found the song in the first place, because it was not a it was not a Motown song,
right?
Which is odd.
Yes.
It's a Harold Melvin the Blue Notes had recorded it.
Yes.
And Suzanne and a producer had thought that there would be a perfect song to do if they did it. It says if I go in, his name is Hal Davis. He says if I go in and cut this, I can smash, cut this like really like a disco hit.
Mm-hmm.
Just hear it strictly for that thing. And then you know how it builds up,
yes.
All that,
mm-hmm.
and then the perfect that beat and all that stuff, and he knows how to put it all together. They manufacture that thing, and so she or him should have been the, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, I performed it,
yeah.
But she found it. She and it was after we recorded it. It was nobody. I mean, it wasn't received very well. And they didn't think that it should be released. So it was almost like she had to put herself on the line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, if this, you know what I mean? Especially a female in that kind of being in the position. Okay, no, I believe in this. Oh, yeah, you believe in this? And then can you imagine that if it was not successful, how much she would have to be even, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? She come up with an idea, and okay, let's not have another "Don't Leave Me This Way" moment.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So it could have been thrown in her face for the rest of her career.
Yeah.
But it's the biggest record, and it's the one, and a lot of people don't know this. This was the first. Meaning I'm talking about somebody else. But I was the first. No, I was the first female artist on Motown to receive a Grammy Award.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I guess Diana Ross, she didn't win one by that time. She hadn't won one. No. And I guess Mary Wells hadn't. I think you're like, wow, that's interesting. Wow. Wow, good for you. Oh, that's good. You're first. It's nice to be the first in something every once in a while. Because it's very rare to be the first in something, so it's nice to be the first in something.
Yeah.
Okay, now for you, this all leads up to that you are doing this wonderful 90-minute show, called My Motown Memories and More, at the Late Holden Theater.
And some of these stories may or may not be told.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No. I'm telling this. It's called My Motown Memories and More.
Yeah.
And it's the basis, kind of like the concept of it is, at certain times in your life, when you were, I don't know, you may have been going through something, or something great happened, or some momentous moment, but there's always some music from that period that you associate with that memory.
Mm-hmm. You do, yes.
Right?
Yep.
So that's one of the concepts of it. And the other thing is that I always wanted to record. I always wanted to record. I always, I always wanted to do that. But I didn't have a path. I didn't know, I wasn't close by anything that was going on. I was in Long Beach. Right? Didn't drive and stuff. So it wasn't like I was in a place like Detroit where you want to, go there and audition and maybe so. You know what I mean? I wasn't that.
Yeah.
And so these people were my age, because we're all, these are my peers. We're around the same age, all of us, right? Mm-hmm. But they are already on their career, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm in Long Beach. So to say, for instance, Smokey Robinson, Shop Around, 1960, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In 1960, put it like this. I got married in 1962.
Okay.
1960, I was experiencing. I remember hearing Shop Around at a place called Mr. Pups. Mr. Pups was a hot dog, place.
Okay.
Hot dog, hamburgers,
Yeah.
chili cheese, fries.
Yes.
It's like Fat Burgers, but
Oh,
down
okay.
in Long Beach.
Okay.
But down in Long Beach, it was called Mr. Pups.
Okay.
And it was a place that had a little parking lot, and the kids would, drive the little cars up in there and pile up, sit on the cars, and talk mess to each other. Oh, shut up, you mom. All that kind of stuff. Hang out.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was going on. Shop Around, playing on somebody's radio, and I'm becoming sick. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And it's the onion smell, and all it was making me. I was nauseous. That's when I realized I was going to have a baby.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was 1960, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then we go on 1961, Mr. Postman, Heat Wave.
Yeah.
My son was born, Dancing in the Street.
Oh, yeah.
Da 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 da, and so on and so on. So and the story is being woven through this, is being told.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Okay.
So it's like a one woman show.
I was gonna say that. It sounds like that's what it sounds like. Like you're doing a one woman show.
Yeah.
Wow. And who helped you produce and direct this?
Well, Iona Morris is and she's directing it.
Very good.
She's and Iona's done lots of great things. She did Sassy Mamas.
Oh, that's our Sassy Mamas. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and she directed Tammy Mack in A Bag Lady.
Oh, okay.
She directed Michael Coyer's one woman show.
Okay.
And she works as coaching the kids on the Blackish.
Oh, okay.
She's she's just just a director, ball of fire.
Yes.
Yeah, and ideas and creative and I don't know if her father was Greg Morris, the actor.
Oh, yes, we know who he is. Of course, you know who he is. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's his dad.
Okay, Small World. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now, was it hard picking the songs?
Well, no, there were certain things. Because certain things just triggered certain memories.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just went by. I said, Lord, thank you, Jesus. Let me put that down before I get dementia.
Yeah. No, it sounds like a good time. It sounds like a nice evening out. That's what I feel like. It's like a nice evening out of music and story.
Yeah, and people, when they hear that music, they just start. Sometimes they sing along with it, and that's great. We love it, and yeah. And they listen to the story. Now, this is actually the first time that we're doing it in a performing arts theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing it. I did it at the Catalina a couple of times.
Okay.
And I did it at a place in Oakland called Yoshi's.
I know Yoshi's. Oh my God, I know this. I know Yoshi's.
I did it at Yoshi's a couple of times.
Okay.
I did it at Catalina a couple of times, and I did it on the Soul Train cruise, which I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
But we were it was a club atmosphere, and it was a club actually.
Oh,
but
okay.
it was 500 people.
Wow.
And we were sold out, and both nights. And the second night there was standing room only in there.
Wow.
And they listened to the story. They laugh and they listen to the story too. That's the part that I thought was going to be a challenge, is because they're not going to be listening to the story. They're just going to want to hear those songs.
Right.
But they didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's amazing. I hate to sound like one of those people, but that's what music was music. And I feel like one of those old folks that I was like, oh, I got back in the day when music was music. I do, but it is something to be said about that people, performers like you, are still out there and can bring it to us still, who like that music and who want to just have a nice evening out where you hear some good lyrics, some good beats, and it's just like it's nice and fun. Just like a fun evening out.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Sweet, I thank you for that. I'm glad you're doing that. So you guys, everybody out there, it's Sunday, October 15th, 7:30, the Nate Holden Theater. You can go to thelmahouston.com/tickets to get tickets. And one last thing I want to ask
And
you.
you can also, excuse me, I think
Tell
you can also get tickets at Nate Holden
Oh,
Theater too.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Nate Holden.
Yeah.
And Nate is Nate, and Holden's Holden for people who are listening here in LA. One thing I do want to ask you before we wrap up is you do a version of Last Dance. Speaking of Donna Summer at the beginning of the show. I love your version. First of all, I love your version of it. I think it's really good.
Well, this is, when I was asked to do that, I had to think about it.
Okay.
Because I didn't want it to sound like you're just jumping on the band, jumping on something just because. And but it wasn't. And I was most concerned with. I said, now if I do know that she and I were friends.
Yes.
And I wanted to do it with respect. And I think that when I was recording, I was doing it as if I might have been doing a tribute to her, and she was in the audience to receive it.
Oh, okay.
And then to me, it was also about, we had a mutual friend, he did some choreography for her.
Okay.
His name was Michael Peters.
Oh, Michael Peters, yes.
Right.
May he rest in peace, yes.
Right, Michael. And so he kind of introduced, I'll come over here. And he took me by her house, and we met when she was actually living in Germany, but she was already getting ready to do a tour or some TV show or something.
Yeah.
And I had seen her in, was it Neiman or somewhere in Beverly Hills, but I didn't go. I don't go up to people. I said, hey, because you know what I mean? I'm a little, because I don't like that rejection.
Right.
Who?
Yeah. Yes.
So anyway, so I said to Mike, oh, Charles, please, she's that, And so she was just wonderful, and we've been friends, and we've been on shows together.
Yeah.
And so it was there's a personal relationship there. Yeah. So that's how. So anyway, that's how. I
think you did it justice because it's a one of her signature songs. I mean, obviously, it's one of her songs that just it's blown up also. And I think you did a great job doing it. Because I was a huge Donna Summer fan also, and may she rest in peace too. And I thought, I said, no, this is a great version of the song. I mean, because you have the voice, but I know her style of that song, and it was very iconic. But I thought you did a great job on the song. So folks should check that out. It's on iTunes, you guys. You can find it. It's a really good version. Miss Thelma, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you are a lovely person.
Well, thank you. It was very nice talking to you.
You are the best. And you guys, again, this Sunday, if you want to have a nice night out, go to the Nate Holden Theater. You want to go there, so go get tickets. Go to thelmahouston.com, tickets. Go to Nate Holden, probably there's the bodyprivate.com. Go to them. I'll post it on my page on Facebook, so you can actually post these links, so you can find them really easy. Just click and get to go there, and go see Thelma. Have a good evening out there and see her, and relive a part of her life. I think it's a great evening. And of course, I'm James Lott Jr., and you can follow me at James Lott Jr. everywhere in the universe. And we'll talk to you next time.